ladies, welcome back to Rehab, the channel where we talk about getting rid of debt and building wealth so we can live well. Today I wanted to share with you all a technique that I've been practicing recently, and this technique is called negative visualization. Negative visualization is a technique that the ancient Stoics in Greece and Rome would use in order to feel more enjoyment and happiness out of their lives. The reason why I'm sharing this with you is because in my own personal finance journey, I find that it is really hard for me to be content with the things that I have. This describes possessions, but it also describes the way that I feel about my progress or lack of progress. I often compare my journey to other people on YouTube or personal finance blogs and sort of deride myself for not making as much progress as other people are. It also describes the way that I feel about my salary. I'm very insecure about the fact that I don't make as much money as my peers. And it also describes the way that I feel about the clothes that I wear or my body. It's really easy for me to find things that I'm not happy about in my life. But at the same time, I can find a lot of things that are going well in my life. And when I focus on the negativity and continue to compare my life to other people's, what I'm doing is I'm robbing myself of my ability to feel joy. I'm robbing myself of happiness. I think that the marketing industry has done a really good job into feeding insecurities, and I think that's a big reason why a lot of us buy a whole bunch of shit that we don't need. But as women who are seeking wealth and as members of the personal finance community, it is our job to combat this by finding contentment in the things that we already have. And so that is where negative visualization comes into play. So enough background, let's go ahead and talk about how you can practice negative visualization in your daily life. To practice negative visualization, it's pretty simple. First thing that you need to do is find something that you are taking for granted in your life. For me, that's actually pretty simple. If I am complaining about something or if I am about to make an impulse purchase, chances are I am taking something for granted. For example, I'm going to use food. I love to eat out, which is crazy, right? Because I have so much food at home, but I'm always like, ugh, gosh, like I've been eating this meal prepped meal for 3 days now and I'm so over it. But it's silly. I have food at home and I'm clearly taking it for granted. So after you choose something that you're clearly taking for granted, step one, then you're going to reflect on what it would feel like if you didn't have that thing in your life. So for me, I would reflect on what it would feel like if I didn't have food. And not only not having food at that moment, but what if I didn't have enough food or what if I didn't have enough money to get more food and I was just straight up hungry? Fortunately, I actually know what that feels like. There was a point in my life where I was not making a lot of money and I was really skinny because I just didn't eat. It felt pretty terrible. Like it felt really bad. And I never want to go back to that ever again. For the next 5 to 10 minutes, I will reflect on what it felt like to not have a lot of food and to go to bed with an empty stomach. Think about that and sort of reflect on it and meditate on it and like how it would feel. How would it feel day to day? How would it feel for a week? And then once you've done that, then the third step that you're going to do is you're going to express gratitude. Now, if you pray, you can pray and, express gratitude that way. I'm not religious, so I don't necessarily pray, but I do say words of affirmation for myself. And so what I would do is I would just take a moment to be in that space and say words of affirmation and express gratitude for having food. And then the next step is to act accordingly, right? Hopefully, by practicing feeling grateful, you would appreciate that, or I would appreciate that I would have food there and I don't need to go out to Chipotle to grab a quick bite, and really I can eat all of the food that I have at home. Now, if you're having a hard time with the visualization process, one thing that you can do is check the news and look for stories of other people who are living lives that are less fortunate than you. And reflect on what it would feel like if you were in their position. Another thing that you can do is reflect on the lives of your ancestors. Very likely, you are living in a dream world compared to your ancestors. As an African American who is the descendant of slaves and Jim Crow segregation, I don't have to look far to recognize that I am living my ancestors' wildest dreams. And so if you're having a hard time with visualizing different pieces in your life, those are also a couple of techniques that can help you reflect and feel more grateful for your life. In a nutshell, that is what negative visualization is, and it's something that I've been practicing regularly in this new year to help myself feel more grateful for the life that I have. My hope is that negative visualization can be a technique that you use to feel grateful for the things that you have. And obviously it's important to be ambitious still and to have goals. I don't think that you should give those up, but in the meantime, enjoy your life. Don't tear yourself apart for not achieving those goals yet. Enjoy your life and be grateful for where you are right now. If this video was useful for you, please do me a really big favor and leave a comment below and tell me what is one thing that you are taking for granted in your life currently, and how can negative visualization help? So that's it, and until next time, I wish you all progress and prosperity. Take care.